Nick Fuentes is an anti-race mixer. But you know what? So is Dr. Umar. Hey, welcome back to another video. It's your boy Boss Enosh, you feel me? And look, today we're gonna watch a very interesting video. It's from Soft White Underbelly, and it's actually 2 years old. I saw this when it came out, but I actually don't remember none of it at all. But I was like, you know, it might be interesting to re-indulge in the conversation that this video would bring forth. It has 1.6 million views. It is a interview with a KKK member. KKK, the kind of people that belong to that group, are the people that would look down on people that look like me, that would spit on people like me, that would, you know, crazy people. But, you know, we're going to dive in. We're going to see what this motherfucker has to say. And it probably won't be anything smart. But let's see. Let's see. Look at that. Look at that. Look at him. He looked like a Power Rangers villain. He looks just weird. Isn't that funny that this is real? People would dress up like this and take themselves so serious. Isn't that strange? Like, this is like something that would be in like a comic book or something. He is in green robes with a pointy hat. With a Patrick Star-shaped hat. Ain't that crazy?
Right,
Pinhead Larry.
JD, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Originally from Roan Mountain, Tennessee.
Rural Mountain, Tennessee.
Did you have a Klan growing up in your family as a kid?
Yeah, somewhat. On my grandparents' side.
How did you get involved?
Well, around 2015 or so, when Dylan Roof, he's took and shot the black people in Charleston in that church, you know, and every picture that I saw on TV of him, he was having the Confederate flag in his hand, and he never was a member of any organization, you know, and then they go and take the flag down in South Carolina off to the state capitol building. Crazy ass dude. Because of that. And I thought, you know, that was kind of a slap in the face to the South, our ancestors that fought in the Civil War. I had people on both sides of my family that fought in the Civil War.
I'm confused. Why does this fucking weirdo have so many professional looking pictures? When did he take these? Ugh, crazy. Look at him. He's crazy. Ew. Let's keep going. So he's mad about the fact that they took down Confederate flags. Okay.
War for Tennessee and North Carolina. And in 2017, I joined the Loyal White Knights. And I just wanted to get out and try to make, you know, do my part and try to make a difference. I mean, like IW was saying, if we don't pull together, you know, it's going to be like a sinking ship. Our rights are going down the drain every day.
What rights? What rights? Because they took down the flag? Because they took down the flag, their rights are going away.
And I just wish my grandparents was around to see me and know that I'm doing my share and trying to preserve our history.
Ain't it crazy? This is... Why is he breathing so hard? He's just sitting down, bro. Get your fat ass up and go to the gym.
And
a whites only gym.
I don't consider myself really as a racist. I mean, I'm more of a separatist. I believe in keeping the races separate. That's what God intended. That's why he put us on different bodies of land, different English, you know, language.
This dude is stupid, bro. Once upon a time, first of all, everybody came from the area that we know as Africa. Once upon a time, all these continents was together. It's Pangea. So, dude, you talking about he put us in separate lands? That just happened over time, dude. Shut up. He talking like we just spawned there.
Just different cultures all together. And I believe that the white race is a superior race. And that's just, that's kind of the way I feel about it.
What do you wish the United States looked like?
Sir?
What do you wish the United States looked like racially? I mean,
well,
right now we're all very mixed.
Yeah, we're very mixed. I just wish that, you know, they could stay more to themselves. I mean, don't come and try to push them down my throat.
When you say they, you mean?
Our government. And not our government, but the black race, the Hispanics, the Orientals. I wish that they would stay with themselves, you know. And I think the country would be a lot better off if it was.
Yeah, stuff like this is like the extreme side of like nationalism, the extreme side of tribalism. You know what I mean? This is the extreme side. Like, that goes against what America is. America, a place where all people can come and seek freedoms. The right to the freedom of religion. The freedom in the pursuit of happiness. Right? This goes against that. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm not wrong.
It's like that.
And on the other side, it's the people that just want open borders, open society, and just everything be all one. No such thing as nations, no borders, no walls. That's too far, okay?
And, you know, Lincoln, he freed the slaves. He was from Illinois, so I think they should have given that state to the slaves and let them all go to Illinois, if that's what he preferred. I mean, I thought, right now, I think it's a slippery slope. And if the white people don't get out there and try to make a difference, we're gonna give our history, our heritage away. I mean, it's gone. But you know, I just wish that more people would see the light and see where this country's heading. Because I give it another 10 years, we'll not be able to do what we're doing today. I mean, it's going to probably be a felony to be seen in the Klan robe. I mean,
to be honest, yeah, it should be, well, it should be a felony. I mean, technically, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Because if you're not doing something that's harming, yeah, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Because if you say that, what else are they going to say would be a felony to wear? But if you're doing harm on the people, yeah, get your ass up out of here.
It's just a matter of time.
What is the Klan's biggest issues today? Is it immigration?
Well, we're strongly against
race mixing?
The mixed race, you know, mixing races, messing with our monuments, our flag, our history, especially in the South, because we were originated in the South. And
see, I don't really have a problem with getting Confederate statues being taken down and shit, because if you look it up, if you look at it, them shits was only put up during a certain time period. I think it was during the Reconstruction era. I might have to refresh. But maybe not all of them, but a lot of them was put up just to intimidate black people. Look, see? Yeah, you're free now, Negro. But look who owns you. Look who's above you. Me. The white man. The superior white man. Now, of course, not every white person thought like that, but there is plenty that did. And they wanted to instill fear in black people, okay? You don't belong here. You don't belong here. If this dude had his way, black people would be over there, okay? And I would go as far as to say that he would probably still prefer them to be slaves, you know what I'm saying, to keep the southern economy going.
Alaska, Tennessee, and being from Tennessee, you know, the Klan's always been strong in that state.
Woo, Tennessee,
and in North Carolina. And
bro, North Carolina's a sticks, bro. I drove through there a couple months ago, boy. That shit's a sticks. We pulled over to get some gas, boy. I'm like, yo, where am I? I feel like I was about to get lynched in the woods.
I just wish that, you know,
But you know, I got that gun on me, nigga. Yay, what's up? I wish a motherfucker would. You know, I really wish something like that would happen, where people like this would come and try to do something to me. Free body, free body.
We had a better opportunity to get out there and make a difference, because they're not wanting to issue us permits, stuff like that, to have rallies or anything, or public demonstrations. But you've got all these protests and stuff going on, and they're just out here doing what they want to do and tearing up the country, and nothing's said. I mean, it's not the Klan. I mean, there's a lot of these other groups. I mean,
this is crazy. He's comparing Klan rallies and parades. He's comparing that to protests that were going on against police brutality. You see all these videos going viral of black people getting killed, and people in general, not just black people. I remember that one dude, the white dude, I think it was Las Vegas or Texas, I don't remember. And they said, get out, get on your knees. He's on his knees, hands up. He's not doing nothing. The cop still shot him. It was a white dude. That shit was crazy. That was a crazy video. The guy's like, get down. Don't move. Get down. Don't move. He's like this. Okay, what do you want me to do? Yum! Like, yo, are you serious? Yeah. So when you see shit like that, when you see people in positions of power and abusing their power on the regular citizens of America, tax-paying citizens of America, of course people are gonna protest, be mad. They're gonna be angry. They're gonna be upset. Yeah, and there were people that were just using that as an excuse or an opportunity to go riot and loot and destroy shit. And there was definitely agents in there that sent from different people that had their own agendas to go and cause ruckus or incite ruckus and chaos and mayhem and burn shit down for their own agenda. But yeah, and yeah, I do agree that the media was trying. A lot of the mainstream media were trying to avoid mentioning riots. They just try to frame all of them as peaceful protests. But like, talk about everything equally. Like, say there's riots going on. Don't condone them, right? But be clear that there's more regular peaceful protests than there are the crazy riots. The whole America wasn't burning. There was just there was just some striking images I was going through. But anyways, fuck what this dude talking about. But I'm listening. I'm listening with open ears though.
They're not doing that.
Nick, are you a religious person?
Yes, sir.
And Klan is a religious organization.
Yes, sir.
What aspects is Christianity that is the basis of the Klan?
Well, I'm Southern Baptist.
Okay.
I'm basically
Southern
Baptist.
Baptist.
I mean,
I'm Southern
there's
Baptist.
Methodist, Presbyterians, no Catholics. I mean, it's...
And you are a Imperial Wizard or a Grand
No,
Dragon?
I'm a Grand Dragon. I'm over North Carolina and South Carolina.
Oh, you do? Okay. And what is a Grand Dragon?
It's the state officer. I'm over the state, and
I wonder what he does in his regular life when he's not playing dress up, when he's not playing trick or treat. What does he do? People like that, it's like, imagine what position he would be in, and imagine if he has to like imagine if like the fate of like a black person is in his hands. Like, you know what I mean? That's a scary thing to think about. But there's a lot of shit there's a lot of things like that where there are KKK members or super racist people that are like doctors or police or lawyers or judges, come in all occupations, come in all shapes and sizes. They come in all degrees. It is a scary thing to think about. But I'm willing to bet that majority of people are not like this dude, okay? People like this are a small minority. Like, grow up. Literally just grow up. This is more just like, weird rural people that don't even go out and see other things in the world. They be in the same small town for all their life, and that's all they know. All they know is what their grandparents and parents put down and instilled in them and what they see on the TV and the internet, and TikTok now especially. But, that's why I always say, like, hatred and shit like that, that shit is taught. You're taught that, y'all should be separate. That you're superior. You're the superior being. You're the superior man. That shit is taught. If you see a little kid, a little black kid, a little white kid, a little Asian kid, a little Spanish kid, they're all just going to be running around, playing around, doing whatever. They're not going to be going, oh, I'm better than you. They're not going to do that to kids. This shit is taught. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I think it's very miserable to live your life thinking that you're better than somebody. And I say that all the time. I say that I say that about these racist white people. I say that about black people that feel like they're better than white people. It's like, I say that about anybody that thinks that shit. Because it's just weird. It's weird. You're going against what America's about. America's about people being able to come here in pursuit of happiness and freedom and create a life for themselves.
I'm right under the Imperial Wizard,
So what is it about African Americans that you want them to be separate?
Well, I don't think God intended for them to be mingling with us and especially breeding with the white race.
Oh, no.
I mean, it brings about a mongrel race. I mean, a mulatto color. I mean, nothing makes me any sicker than to see a little kid running around and their skin's just yellow. I mean, a mulatto color.
A yellow? Why you said it like that? What the fuck? It makes me sick to see a little kid running around and their skin's just yellow. Yo, that's what Nick Fuentes believed, bruh. Nick Fuentes is an anti-race mixer. But you know what? So is Dr. Umar. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think that's stupid. is stupid and dumb. Stupid and dumb. I don't think I really need to explain why that's stupid and dumb. But yeah, it is what it is. And anyways, most people date within their own race regardless. So complaining about that shit is another reason why it's dumb. Because most people don't interrace marry. Yeah, there's some people, yeah. And I think Hollywood and the media, they overly try to push that image, I feel like. Like, I see a lot of, not saying it's a bad thing, but I do see that a lot. You know, how often do you see, like in a movie or a show, or even a commercial, how often do you see two black parents? A lot of times you see, like, a white mom and a black dad, or a black dad and a black mom. What did I say? Hold on. Sorry. A lot of times you see a white dude and a black lady, or a black dude and a white lady, or, you know, racially ambiguous, or, you know, white with something else like Asian or Indian, whatever. You don't really see too much of like the same race together. So that's pretty interesting. But I think that's just them trying to do like an overcorrection. How do they hit as many demographics as possible? Look, an interracial relationship, you know. But yeah, stupid.
I mean, I wouldn't feel so bad about the blacks if our government wasn't pushing them down our throat. Just like in the 60s, I mean, they pushed them down our throat in the schools and, you know, cafes, restaurants. I mean, it's just something that I don't think should have ever happened.
Yeah, so he's just saying he wanted to continue to have white-only spaces. Yada, 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 yada. The thing is, all of the stuff, especially when it comes to the schooling, black people are only able to get the hand-me-downs, the secondhand materials, the stuff that weren't good. You know what I'm saying? The shitty-ass textbooks, all the stuff that the white people didn't use anymore. That's all they were able to get. You know what I'm saying? So, no. Shut up. Talking about the government was forcing it down our throats.
How has the Klan changed? I mean, you've only been a member for a few years. But
I've been, several years, but the Klan's really changed a lot. We're not as violent as they used to be. You know, back in the 60s, there was some violent Klan groups, especially in Mississippi.
Okay, so he acknowledges the violence.
And it gives the Klan a bad rep, but today we're more, I want to say, laid back, and it's not more of a terrorist group than what they used to be. They claim that we're in between the Nazis and Al-Qaeda. We're ranked number 2 in the world as one of the worst terrorist groups. I don't see how they could rank us up there, you know, like Al-Qaeda or the Nazis. I mean, we don't go out and just kill people, you know.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, they're definitely not as active as they were before. Because back then they used to get active for real, boy. I mean, even what happened to Malcolm X's dad, bruh. They went and killed Malcolm X's dad, bro. You know what I'm saying? They would terrorize them folk. They don't do shit now because, you know, good luck. Good luck, buddy. You're going to get your ass. And most people have grown out of this mindset. Most people have grown out of this mindset. The thing that is dangerous, though, is what I said earlier, that a lot of them people, they might still think the same way, but they're just in different positions. It's not cool for them to think how they used to think.
No, I've never been in another country, but I've been all around the southern states. I've not lost nothing up north. I'm not going up there.
So what do you think about the state of our country and its future?
Right now, I think it's going to eventually end up in turmoil. And Donald Trump, he talked a good talk at first. That got him into office. And
you be voting for Trump?
Yeah, I'll vote for Trump. I did the first time.
Oh, wow. That boy's getting hot, boy. Ain't it crazy that he had those sunglasses underneath the mask? That's so crazy. Hold on, let's look at it again.
And
mask off. Fuck it, mask off.
He talked a good talk at first. That got him into office. And
you be voting for Trump?
Yeah, I'll vote for Trump. I did the first time. I will this time. You know, I hope he's got a chance. I mean, I've never known a president to go into office and so many of his own party be so much against him, you know. and wouldn't let him do what he said he was going to do. Like I said, he talked a good talk. That's what put him in there. But if he gets in there again, the next go around, I hope that he can go ahead and do what he set out to do, especially with the border wall. We've got a bad problem with immigration, and dealing with China. I think that was one of the worst things we ever done, was pass the NAFTA bill, that free trade agreement, because it took a lot of our textile workers, our jobs away from the textile workers, sent it to China, Mexico, and you can't even go to a store and buy anything that's not made in China, Taiwan, Mexico.
That's true.
Clothes. I mean, I remember Rocky boots and stuff. I hunt a lot, and I always tried to have a good pair of insulated boots, and even Rocky Boot Company, they're made in China now. I mean, we need a president that will bring our jobs back, and I think the country would be better off, and give the people here the opportunity to go back to work. I mean, if they would stop the immigrants from coming in here, that would make a big difference. If, finish that border wall. I mean, I'm all for that.
And do you have children?
No, sir.
No kids. You're married?
No, sir.
No. What are you proudest of in your life?
Sir?
What are you proudest of in your life?
What am I proud of? Well, I'm proud that I'm white. That's one of the main things I'm proud of. And I'm proud that I come from the family I came from, with the background, and that I've got ancestors that fought in the Civil War for the South. I mean, everybody says that slavery was the main issue in the Civil War.
I'm proud that I'm white.
It could have been part, but myself, I think it was mainly over the money and states' rights. We had the cotton, the tobacco, all the agriculture down here, and taxes. They probably wasn't paying the taxes on their stuff, and but that's. I mean, if I can make $1 and get by with it, I'm gonna do it. I mean, they knew that once they pulled from the Union, when the Southern states succeeded, that that's what they were succeeding over: the taxes, states' rights. And I'm not going to leave slavery out. I'm sure slavery had a part to do with it.
Okay, thank you. That's the thing. They do try to leave it out, though. States' rights. Yeah, states' rights to slavery. Duh. And yeah, a lot of their economy was based in that free labor that they got from slaves, bro. And once slavery was abolished, it was like, damn, what they gonna do? A lot of them white people had to work them jobs too. I mean, there's still black people that was doing them jobs, because they still had the sharecropping and shit. It was like, okay, if slavery's abolished, now what are these black people gonna do? They still need to work. So, them plantation owners and shit, they're like, okay, well, you come work for me, and you're gonna get paid this much. But then at the same time, the people that they're working for, they controlled a lot of the the grocery stores, you could say. The newly freed black people, they can afford those prices. So what them people do? Okay, well, we'll let you have it, but you'll just owe us. And you can just keep working until you pay it off. But they're never going to pay it off. Because you're always going to need necessities. You're always going to need to eat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, it's not indentured servitude, but it was called sharecropping.
But the North had slaves. I mean,
Let me double check. After the Civil War, former slaves sought jobs and planters sought laborers. The absence of cash or an independent credit system led to the creation of sharecropping. Sharecropping is a system where the landlord/planter allows a tenant to use the land in exchange for a share of the crop. This encouraged tenants to work to produce the biggest harvest that they could and ensure they would remain tied to the land and unlikely to leave for other opportunities. In the South, after the Civil War, many black families rented land from white owners and raised cash crops such as cotton, tobacco, and rice. In many cases, the landlords and nearby merchants would lease equipment to the renters and offer seed, and other items on credit until the harvest season. At that time, the tenant and landlord or merchant would settle up, figuring out who owed whom, and how much. High interest rates and unpredictable harvests and unscrupulous landlords and merchants often kept tenant farm families severely indebted, requiring the debt to be carried over into the next year or the next. Laws favoring landowners made it difficult or even illegal for sharecroppers to sell their crops to others besides their landlord. Or prevented sharecroppers from moving if they were indebted to the landlord. So I kind of explained, I didn't explain it all the way correctly, but I got the gist of it though. Whereas like, they're gonna be. Damn, the camera died, but I'm back though. But yeah, what I was saying was, they're in debt, and because they're in debt, you're still a slave. You have no choice. Approximately 2/3 of all sharecroppers were white, and 1/3 were black. Though both groups are at the bottom of the social ladder, sharecroppers began to organize for better working rights. Oh, well, just look at that. There was a lot of white people that were sharecroppers, though. Look at that. That's one thing, though, that they do want you to think. They want you to make you think that only black people were suffering. But no, there was other people that were suffering, too, other white people. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of it becomes just like a class thing, too. The poor whites are also having to do the hard shit, too. The poor white people. The working class. That's the thing. We better start reading textbooks. But look. Is this in the textbook or okay? No, it's not. But they say this in the textbook. So when they talk about critical race theory, they're gonna take this out of textbooks. You know what I mean? But when people talk about that shit, oh, they're banning books, they're banning textbooks, da da da. They never really break it down for real. So that's something. I'm not gonna make claims like that because I don't know what they're taking out. They don't show any excerpts of what they're taking out. Let's keep going though. Let's finish this video.
We got a lot of our slaves from the North. Even our presidents. Grant, when he became president, he didn't give up his slaves until he got nominated to be a president. I mean, then he gave his slaves up, 4 or 5 years after the Civil War? I mean, they tell, just like Robert E. Lee said, the victors of war will write the story. And I remember growing up in school, all the books that we studied in school was published from up north. They wasn't none of the books published from down here. They tell you what they want you to learn. And that's why the people today, they don't know their history. I mean, if the blacks had any clue, and if they had had enough sense to open a book and study history, they wouldn't be going out here and voting these Democrat tickets because the Klan was founded by Democrats. A Republican freedom. But they're so much against the Republican Party, the party that freed them. I mean, it's got a lot to do with the history, and they're not teaching it in the school. And
I remember there's something about the ideals of the parties changing. We're gonna dive into. I'm not gonna speak on it because I don't remember everything off the top of my head. We're gonna dive into it for a different video because I actually am curious, right? But that is true. It is true.
And that's what our younger generation's gonna grow up to see. A bunch of lies. I mean, that's my opinion. I'll go to my grave feeling that way. And I mean, it's a shame what we're gonna leave the kids for the future. I mean, the shape it's going to be in. This country's, I see every day it's getting worse and worse. I mean.
Were there ever lynchings in the Klan?
I do think that a lot of things are getting worse and worse for the generations coming up, especially when they think about the cost of living, the quality of the food. But I don't know if that's what this dude is referring to when he says it's just getting worse and worse. Because based off his earlier statements, it seems like he thinks it's getting worse and worse because the races aren't separated. That's what it makes it seem like. You know what I'm saying? That's what he thinks is why it's getting worse and worse. When there's other valid reasons that it's getting worse and worse. Mainly cost of living. Cost of living going up, wages stagnating. It's tough.
Well, I'm sure they were years ago. I mean, they've not been no lynches in probably, I'm going to say, 50, 60 years. But most of the lynchings was more down south. Like I said, a lot of the other Klan groups years ago, they did give us a bad name. But as far as lynching going on today, nah. I mean, you couldn't get by with it.
One of the things that's interesting about Klansmen is they're so committed to what they believe.
Oh, I'm into what I believe. I mean,
it's an interesting stand. That
I got a heart of a Klansman, and I will die for a Klansman fighting for my race.
I mean, you may believe things that other people have a hard time swallowing, but you believe what you believe, and you stand behind it.
Exactly. Yes, sir. I believe that God, He gave His life for our sins. I believe in God, and as long as I've got God on my side, I'm all right. As long as I believe that I've got God in my heart, and I know that there is a God, you know, I think I'll be all right.
Isn't it funny how there's so many different spectrums of people can believe in God? Isn't that crazy? That's a real interesting thing to me. Something that certain people in America try to make you think is that this guy is like a representation of a lot of Christians, a lot of straight white male Christians. But if you really look at the numbers, out of all the religions, bro, Christians are like very open. Christianity is one of the most open, inclusive, and accepting religions, especially in terms of like LGBTQ acceptance. Christianity is number one, bro. Or was it number one? It was up there. I think it was. It wasn't number one. It wasn't number one. It wasn't number one. I'm tripping. But it was up there though. And of course, the lowest one was Islam, right? It was Islam, you know. But them liberals, they don't say nothing about Muslims though. They don't dare speak on them boys. But they'll trash Christianity all day long. And yet Christianity is the niggas that be the most inclusive. Ain't that funny? They were trying to make it seem like all of them is this type of dude. Nah.
But the blacks, one thing they don't understand about the white culture,
the blacks,
we may have brought them over here. Well, not me, but years ago, our ancestors brought them over here, used them for slaves. But you think about it, we brought them over here and taught them how to worship God, comb their hair, brush their teeth, clothe, taught them English. Tried to teach them right from wrong, but that didn't work. But they're such a primitive race. They were so used to living off the land in Africa, and they should be thankful that some of them were brought into the United States and kind of what I call domesticated. They've been domesticated, and
Jesus Christ.
If they don't like it, I'm sure that we could probably use some of those big cruise ships and send them back. I'd put in a few dollars
send them back.
Fuel in them ships.
Hell. Look at this dude. This is why it's like, bro, like, look at them, bro. Look, like, just compared them to animals. Look, really, we brought them over here and domesticated them. It's like, what do you even say to that, bro? Like, it's so... it's so ridiculous, dude. It's so ridiculous. Them people went over there, kidnapped black people, also bought them too, because other black people were selling slaves as well. Because slavery was going on everywhere. That's true. Stuck all them black people on them ships, crammed them. A bunch of them died before they even got here. Brought them here in the crazy conditions. Treated them like they're less than human, like as this person is saying. This motherfucker is saying. Broke them, mentally broke them, physically broke them, tortured them, raped them, raped the men, raped the women, raped the kids, raped the women in front of the men, raped the kids in front of the men, raped the kids in front of the women, raped the men in front of the women, for generations upon generations upon generations. He didn't do that, but his people did that shit. And you over here in President talking about, well, we tried to teach them right from wrong, but that ain't work. Make me sick. Make me sick, bro. You make me sick.
African Americans, Mexicans.
Well, any race that's not a Aryan race.
Well, what about the American Indians? We kind of stole their country.
Well, I know it was wrong for us to come in and push them off their property and do like the Trail of Tears. That was pitiful, the way they done the Indians. If I'm going to have any sympathy for any race, it will be the Native Americans. And, I know that, but you got to think about it too. The Confederates didn't do that to the Indians. The North done it. The Union done it after the Civil War. So if anybody's to blame, you blame the Yankees, the North. They're the ones that done it.
Have you ever had any minority friends?
Well, yeah, I have. I mean, I've still got a few black guys that I communicate with. I don't go out of my way to communicate with them. If I see them in the store, I speak. They speak to me, They know what I'm doing. They know who I am, what I represent. So far, none of them's ever questioned me, said anything bad.
I've had some of my African American friends watch some videos on my channel of Klansmen, and they've said they respect his stand in his belief in what he believes, even though they don't agree with it.
Right.
They respect his.
Believe it or not, man, I've got a couple black friends that they.
That's interesting. Isn't it interesting that you can be friends with people that you think you're superior to?
Care as much about their black race as I do the white race. They don't believe in race mixing. I mean, some of them are like that. They don't believe in it because they know it's wrong. They know the Bible. They know, why they were in Africa and we were, in Scotland, Ireland, because we're immigrants to this country. We are. We're immigrants. But we've built this country. And right now we're handing it out. I mean, we're just giving it away. And, it's a slippery slope. I'm telling you, man. We're kissing our heritage. We're kissing it goodbye. I mean, every day you see more and more of these monuments taken down and street names changed. And what are they doing? They're turning right around and naming those streets after black people,
Oh,
and
no.
just like Stone Mountain, Georgia, it's a matter of time, they're going to blast that mountain. They'll probably put a monument of Martin Luther King on top of it. And right now, we're not even allowed to go in there. And it's not right.
Shut up. Alright, that was the video. What y'all think about that shit? It's so interesting seeing those different conversations with different people like that. I would definitely want to meet someone like that in person and really pick their brain, Like, I despise that. I despise that. Just looking down on somebody just off of what? The color of my skin, you look down on me. But the thing, it goes deeper than the color of skin. They think that just inherently we're different. And down to the bones, down to the soul, to the spirit. We're like, I'm not a human. That's what they think. Isn't that weird? Imagine somebody thinking you're not a human. Imagine somebody thinking you're less than human, like you're a Neanderthal. As if we don't bleed the same blood. As if we don't love the same way we love. As if we don't make families the same way we make families. As if we don't care about things the same way they care about things. That's a weird, really weird thing, bro. But something that's always interesting is that there's a lot of stories of people that are like him, that believe the same things as him. And then they go through something in life. Or they meet a black person. Or a person that's not white. And just their interaction with those people, it makes them change what they thought. There's one of my coworkers, he would tell me a story about how I think his grandpa or great grandpa or something was like just a mean old racist man, bro. Mean old racist man. Hate black people, hate Hispanic people, all type of shit. And when he was old as hell, and in a nursing home, because none of his family would come see him because he was so mean. He was mean to everybody in his life. He ended up loving his caretakers. His caretakers were all black women. And like he ended up like loving them. And they would say he's such the nicest man in the world, yada yada yada. And it would be so, he was saying how it was so crazy how this person, he knew him as the most racist, vile person. And yet when he was sick and dying alone, the people taking care of him were black women, black people, and he like opened his eyes. I guess you can't teach an old dog new tricks, huh? But there's a lot of stories like that where it's real interesting. Like that's hatred. That's a real deal hatred, bro. That's real shit. Ooh. Damn. But yeah, let me know what y'all thought, man. Do you want to watch more? You want to just watch more interviews like that? I think I'm going to, because that stuff is just so interesting, bro. Origin and shit. We're going to dive deep, bro. I swear to God, we're going to dive deep. You feel me? But hey, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.